Hello and welcome back to the Living Little podcast. It's been 10 months since the last episode with Aden right here. Just a quick little recap. We talked about immigrant opportunities in America and it's like how we think that should be like, not processed, but like how that should be undertaken with the process of like what opportunities are present and just like the struggles that come with it, right? Before I get into today's topic, I want to introduce everyone. We got some new guests, one returning. So, obviously, I'm your host, Zain Kanji.
I'm Clark Tavis. I joined you guys on the last episode, Aden.
I'm Gamya Michael.
I'm Ahmad Khan.
I'm Isaiah Rich.
All right, I got mic. Y'all could keep that mic. So for today's topic, it's gonna sound cliche. I'm not gonna lie, but it's basically just moral philosophy, right? And the reason I chose this topic is like, how do we like? I think growing up, like me personally, I am an overthinker. So I overthink like, oh, is what I'm doing right? Is it wrong? Like, how do we like come to that consensus of what's right and wrong? Because like, there's different things like the way we're raised, like different experiences what our parents tell us. So, like, I think having like a multitude of guests with like so much variety and like just the world we live in, it's good to learn like how do we get to that like moral like consensus basically. So I think, are there any comments y'all have? Like y'all will share the mic.
Let's see. No, I agree with you. Morality is something that's very like subjective for different people. So it's a good idea to have like a multitude of different guests.
That's
yeah.
good.
For sure.
Facts indeed. All right, so for first question, I think it's a good one. There's many like subtopics under this. So can morality be universalized or is it more personal to you? So is it like, do you think basically it's like, to reword it, is morality more objective or subjective? So I'm also going to share the mic with y'all.
I feel like for the most part, like a lot of like moral perspectives are like mostly universal. I'm not really sure. Like I guess like with different like cultural groups or religious groups, like those tend to differ. But like for the most part, like I think it's been mostly universalized, like especially in the 21st century. Um, so yeah, I'm not really sure, but I feel like for the most part, it's been tended to be like the same with everyone, like most moral standpoints.
I'd have to disagree with you there, Aiden. Just on like just based on the fact that like even like people from different neighborhoods have different like moral values, but like just how you treat like let's say elderly or like for example like oh sorry just like nah and then like another example like let's say stealing at Jewel, like for us it might just seem like there's people that steal all the time, it's not that big of a deal, but for other people it might be like a very deep and important to them. Some people like really fear authority or getting in trouble more than others. So yeah, but I wouldn't say you're completely wrong. I agree with the religious part and like cultural part. There's a lot of like different cultural values. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just because I tend to like maybe it's more of like where you exist like in the world, like where you tend to be, like the people you tend to be around, where you see that kind of view. But, like for the most part, like the people I tend to be around, like most people like acknowledge like what's right and wrong, regardless if they commit an act that's right or wrong. Like I guess yeah, that can like differ like with a lot of people. Like I guess to the extent that they see something as right or wrong. But I feel like a lot of people, like for the most part, see what is right and wrong. Um, I'm not really sure, but I feel like yeah. All right, someone else take the mic.
Yeah, like I agree with Gamya because like with that little stealing portion, what if the person okay, what if the person like really needs it, like my psychology teacher, he had this one question in our class. It was like um only one person like has the cure to your wife's what is it? Cancer? To your wife's cancer, and it was like the guy was like upcharging like crazy and you didn't have the money, so would you go steal it for her, right? And I said I would definitely steal it, if because I didn't have the money and he was being like a jerk, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's different. It's different for everybody though, for sure.
Yeah,
That's good to hear.
I think that sometimes what happens is that other things supersede morality. So you have a set of beliefs and values that you live by, but if there's something more pressing, more personal going on, like something attacking your physical needs or your ability to survive, then that's going to supersede than you sticking to your morals, I think.
I'm loving all the words shared around. My personal view is like I think there are times. Me personally, I'm more subjective when it comes to morality because I think that's gonna like transition to my next question. It's more about intent. What Isaiah was saying, like the intent of like, oh, is stealing for like my wife good or not? So I think I'm more intentional with my morality. Sometimes I'll say like I can be selfish with it, but I think but there's also times you need to be objective, like just like for instance like killing, that's wrong. I don't think that there's much debate around that, right? But like there's so many like different circumstances surrounding like different actions and whatnot, which like that goes to my next question, like how it's more personal, you don't like have to get too much into detail, like how do you let your intentions like affect your morality or like the way you make decisions, because we're not always going to make the right decision or the best decisions, like how do you let your intent like sort of like form what you do, you know? So, like, any words?
I guess I'll start. I would just like to say, like, the way I grew up, like, I was raised in, like, I would say a strict household. But I don't think that really it shaped me in a specific like sort of form, I guess. But high school allowed me to like see others' perspectives in it. Sorry, like but it became more of like I I understand other perspectives, like meeting new people, so I'm able to like compare it with my morality. Like something that I might have thought was like really wrong when I was younger. It's like I get a different perspective or a different view on it. So I think that just comes with age. Like the older you get, like when you're younger, like going back to Isaiah's example, when you're younger, like psychology, kids are more likely to like fear authority. Like, oh, I don't want to get time out. I don't want to get in trouble. Then when you're older, you start to think like more like what is really right and what is really wrong. What is that person going through? So yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely really see that. Um, I feel like when we're talking about like morals though, like there's like times where there's like specific circumstances that outweigh like traditional morals. But like I guess what I was like starting off with, like going back to what I was saying earlier, was like I feel like um like we kind of like we still have like a perception of certain morals, even though like we kind of go against them at the same time with our morals like outweighing them. So like what you were talking about like with perspectives or whatever, I do feel like same thing for me, like because I was also raised in like I was raised in an immigrant household where like the idea of like the American opportunity, like hard work leading to success, like stuff like that. um so that's something that I've lived by for the most part, but like throughout my life, like I've definitely seen like other people's perspectives as well, like what you were talking about. um I think like the evolution of perspective has a lot to do with morality as well. I'm not really sure how to go off that, but yeah, you guys wanna-
No, yeah, that's really important, just like our perspectives. And I think when you're talking about circumstance and like I really agree. Like me personally, like I was also raised in like not too strict of a household. But, like I was raised in like a Muslim household, right? So there's a lot of like religious stigma around what I do, and like it was so like I still struggle like with that to this day. Like how do I like justify my actions knowing that I live in American culture, but I'm like bound by these like religious like I'm not like restrained by them because I know like in the long term it's for my benefit. It's like how do I like experiment with my life knowing that like in the long term I want to do the right thing, but how do I like I think for me, like a big thing is like I need to like make the mistake to like learn what the mistake is, and that's not always like the best way to think. So like it's just like trying to find that balance in that spectrum. So I think that's my question. And you brought up like something with religion earlier. So well, this is gonna be like more like personal based. Like, how do you think? Do you think all like religions are the best at like guiding your morals, or do you think like that just comes more with experience rather than religion?
I think that like religion definitely like plays a role in it, um but I feel like for the most part it's kind of like the evolution of ourselves that really like propel that. But I think like a good starting point is with religion and like with like finding morals. Like if you think about it, like the beginning of time, like when these like when mythologies were formed or whatever, like what like I guess like entities like to scare specific groups of people into not doing specific things, or like things like that. Like where this higher power would like the idea of like the consequences of a higher power, like I guess giving you a consequence for a certain action, like those are kind of where our morals like based around. But I think like now like it's mostly about like yourself more of, because like I feel like in this century particularly, like there's a lot less like religious people than there were like a century ago. So I think religion definitely like propelled that like in a way, before, but I think like more now it's more like on yourself and like the evolution of your own perspective. You guys, yeah.
Let's see how it's looking.
You got that.
All right, well, I was just gonna say how I think especially with the advancements of social media, it's like everyone's expected to have like their stuff together at a younger age. So instead of like going through life and making mistakes and like going through those experiences yourself, they're whether it's with religion or like with any sort of life experiences, you're like supposed to learn from it earlier. Like sort of we're less there's less leeway for us to make mistakes because like for us like it makes it seem like everyone, oh, look at this guy who has his life together at 20. So like it might shift your morals into like being too focused on, oh, let me make money, or oh, let me be the let me, or my only priority is like to get into heaven or something like that as an example. But yeah, so we don't have as much leeway to make mistakes, so maybe our morals might be more extreme. So just a thought.
Just some more people sharing. Huh?
Yeah.
People
Guys,
being a little quiet.
Yeah.
Take it away, Isaiah.
Like, okay, so okay, okay. So like,
It's the green light on.
yeah, it's on, it's on, it's on. Like, for me, I made like a lot of mistakes when I was young. I'm making a lot of mistakes now. But I'm learning from them. And cause like when I was younger, my household was very strict. So
Okay.
okay, okay, it was like very strict. So like I was like scared to experiment and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? But now my parents have become more lax. So now I've been like experimenting a lot. So I've been making mistakes. But like that feeling of like having that authority, like I don't know, it made me like not want to make many mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Not try things, and yeah.
Isaiah, what have you been experimenting with?
Like curfew, staying out past curfew, like stuff like that.
That's a big one. Wait.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom's like, oh, get here at 12. I'm gonna get here at 2, and I'll get yelled at. You know what I'm saying? But maybe she'll become more loose. With my
With the experimentation.
yeah, and she'll understand. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
like expand on that example? Wait, hold on. Can I have a mic? No, 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 yeah. So like I can relate to that heavy because like back in like winter of sophomore year, I just started coming home late and like okay, weird question. Is it immoral to like disobey your parents, but even though in the long term they're going to like become more like fine with it, and like it's not even going to be like a form of disobeying because it's like it's rather more understanding. Like say coming home late, it's like it may be disobeying in the moment, but I think like in the long term they're going to and like end up understanding like why or like what you're doing. It's like I like do y'all see that as immoral or not?
Out late at night,
That doesn't need to be disclosed.
I think like it depends. Like it depends on what you do. Obviously, like if you're doing some stupid like stuff, like you're doing crazy drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's that's bad. But staying out late, if your parents know you're safe, I don't think it's like immoral. But like I think when you're younger, it's more immoral to disobey your parents because like they can, I don't know, like they have more control over your life, as they should because like they're like providing for you, doing all that stuff for you. But like as you get older, like you're becoming more like what's that word? Solo? Like
Independent.
more independent. Yeah, more independent. Thank you. You're becoming more you're becoming more independent. So and you should learn these things, like in your teenage years. So yeah.
I got a little question. It's just a follow up question. You said like when you're younger, like you should listen to your parents more because they provide for you and stuff. So like, what do you think changes between when you're older, like teenagers, but they still provide for you? They still take care of you, all that stuff. Just wondering.
Oh, thank you. Because I didn't mean to like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but because they still provide for you unless God, you know what I'm saying? They bad. Yeah. But why did I just forget what?
I was just saying like they still provide for you when you're older, like hopefully, God, like you say, God forbid. But like when they're providing for you, like does that really change? Like what changes? What makes you able to? Like,
oh yeah. Like you're more developing into like an adult, so you should be like more independent. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to have a job. Maybe set your own like get back late so then you learn like, oh, maybe that was a bad thing and maybe I shouldn't do that. And so I can it's a step to becoming more successful when you're older, you know, when you're independent, you know, getting your house, you know, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Where do you think the line is between independence and then like danger, where they're going into
Dangerous territory.
they're doing stuff where it's not necessarily beneficial to like exploring themselves as a
The
person.
line.
Yeah, what's the
Like,
line
I
as
have an
a
additional question for that.
You're doing like if you do crazy
Yeah.
drugs.
Also,
Is it just
Like
okay,
like
fair.
maybe you're getting into fights. You're getting into fights, you know.
Okay.
Like you like drinking, you know. Like I see the experimentation, but like if you get into a car like after you've been drinking, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge line that you should not. You know what I'm saying?
what drug is the line? What drug are we talking?
I don't know, like stuff that can actually like harm you, like for like in the long run. You know
Like
what I'm
what
saying?
types? Give me some names.
Wow.
Okay, no, we don't-
This is
okay.
a family-friendly
Yeah.
podcast now. Come on now.
An example like crack. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the homeless people now. You know what I'm saying? And all
That's a good point.
and all they like want, they don't want money for food. They want it for drugs. You know what I'm
Can I make a comment?
Of course, yeah.
And also, like, there's like another add-on to morality. Like, at what times do you need to be moral to yourself and do good things for yourself? Because there's experimentation, but there's also like straight tomfoolery. Like you got to do good things for yourself too. Like eat healthy, not do drugs, stuff like that. So like, how do y'all like fit that in with your like experimentation? You know?
I was just gonna say, I think like I was gonna say like I say it's like sort of not like 100% sure, but like an easier way to like figure out between like what's better and worse from reality is like uh instant gratification, like because like stuff like fast food, I guess drugs, partying, that kind of stuff. Yeah, stuff like that, I don't know where you're going there. You said family friendly like a minute ago. No. I'll say that, but yeah, I agree with you. No, all that kind of stuff. That is like instant gratification, and it could be there's good in moderation. Like if you go have fast food every once in a while, stuff like that. Versus like if you do crack and you end up homeless because you're always chasing that instant gratification. It's sort of like it's an easy way to like defer between good habits and bad habits. So I would say that's a semi decent way to test between.
Ahmad, you've been a little quiet.
I
Yeah,
want to hear from Ahmad. Like,
Yeah.
how he grew up, like how he grew up in
Let's
his
talk
house.
about like.
In his house.
Talk about your mouth.
Wait,
Yeah, his morality.
yeah, Ahmad. What do you like to share? How personal question? How have you come to determine your morality as of today?
I think you should always be making decisions that are good for your own morality at all times. You should never
that's a good
have
point.
fast food.
That's a good point.
And
Yeah, Ahmad is a great example of that. I can't even lie. Can't like always watching out for his health, going to the gym. He's up.
Yeah.
He's up.
Can I ask you a question? Now? When you were scamming the Home Depot with the gift cards. No, I just want to know. No, allegedly, of course. Allegedly, of course. Like, how was your morality? Like, how were you weighing that between your morality? I was wondering from your perspective.
I actually don't know what you're talking about, so I can't really speak on that one. But let me hear what Isaiah's
Bro,
question is.
because like Home Depot's like $1 billion company, right?
Sure.
So I don't think it's that bad if he so said happened. You know what I'm saying? He's a teenager. You know, it like they're $1 billion company. You know, like
I don't think you
what
should
if he
be
needs it?
scamming any company.
You really
'Cause
shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
they earn their money hard just like you do.
I understand that, but like they made it. You know what I'm saying? And you're just trying to like make it too. I have a question. Like what is the line of like doing bad things for your improvement?
That's what we were asking you earlier.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, really?
That's just like the overarching question. That is.
No, like what's the line like of like stealing from a big company? You know what I'm saying?
Can I reword that question into like a more broad?
Absolutely. Give him the mic. Give him the mic.
Is morality a spectrum, or is it just like straight right or wrong?
I think that's something we've gone over already. Like, I think it really is a spectrum. It really like depends on like your own like interests and like needs. And like I feel like there are like certain things that like are definitely like right and like just plain right, just plain wrong. But like most of the time, like it's based on like perspective. Like this is kind of like a far fetched thought, but I feel like like everyone's like kind of like a blank slate at birth. It's just kind of like the perspectives around you that like that shape you into like how you think. I guess, which is like that's kind of like far fetched because there's like some terrible people that like people consider like really terrible people. But I feel like for the most part, it's like really the experiences around like a person that like make them that way. So like I don't know. You guys want to?
I think it's definitely like the experiences because like you see like these kids that
What? Why you chuckling,
He's
little
sneezing.
bro?
He's sneezing.
It's coffee. He's sick.
like they got child abuse, right? Or they're
No.
Zay, why are you laughing?
What? Like or their mom or their parents are drunk, like they're just not like a very good human being, like that obviously shapes the type of person that person's gonna become. Like, and there's like statistics on that too, like that I learned in class. I don't want to go into it because I don't really remember that much, but like if like you're gonna be like a worse person because of those things that you face, but you could also be better. Like you go to therapy, you get those things figured out,
So, are people really immoral, or are we just living in an immoral world?
That's a good question.
People are immoral.
Ooh, okay.
Cause like now it's an immoral world, but like people had to like make this world immoral. You know what I'm saying? So it obviously started with the people. Like people obviously want to be rich. That's greed. That's like a sin. One of the sins. You know what I'm saying?
Seven deadly sins.
Seven deadly sins. So they're greedy. So everybody wants money. So they're gonna do what's better off for them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. So, you wanna? I was just gonna say like an interesting thought like about like when you were talking about sins is like religion, like going back to that thought about religion, like religion really does like play a role in like defining like from the beginning like what's wrong, what's right, like with those sins, like stuff like that. I just wanted to throw that thought
I'm
out.
just gonna answering Clark's question. I think that there might even be the same or even less amount of like sort of immoral activities in the world, but because like we're so interconnected with social media, like you're seeing every like crime that's done, every shooting, every person, like you see like the extremes are always presented on social media, so you're gonna see all like the immoral activities because like they make more money than like if a news was just to show like all the good activities, I guess. So I think like I guess people can make the argument for both sides, but maybe the world is just the same amount of moral that it's always had. It's just there's so much more like connectivity.
Can you pass my content? Yeah, I do agree with what Isaiah was saying. Like initially, it was the immoral people, which led to like establish like this perspective of an immoral world, right? So like, and going back to Gamya's point about social media and culture, that's what I want to bring up next. I think we've especially like in like this generation, we've been raised like look up to like celebrities, influencers who are doing immoral things, who are not doing the best things, and we look up to that. We think, oh, that's how we should be acting. That's what we should be doing. Let's just take relationships for example. Oh, we got hella players in the film industry. Oh, like we got like people in high school like doing God knows what. So should we be doing that? Should we be cheating? It's like my like just judgments are like no, we should not be looking up to that, right? But I think the question I'm trying to ask is how much do we let culture form our morality? Because it's a big thing. There's like I think we've covered like parents, religion, like our household and whatnot. How do we let culture intertwine with all of that? Because it's a big thing.
Sorry. Can I go back to what y'all said about like you know what I'm saying? Like Gami is talking about you see it on TV, you see it on social media, people robbing, maybe they're doing dumb stuff, that's gonna influence what we do, like what you said, like like I remember this time me and Gami like we were watching people like steal from what's it called, Mariano's, right? Right, and I was like, dang, maybe we should do that, but but then it was only a thought. It was only a thought. I didn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Or did not manifest.
I didn't manifest it, right? I didn't manifest it. So
That's one of the causes, bro.
but yeah, like that's obviously gonna influence like what people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Ahmad in the gift cards.
What? Allegedly.
in the pot belly.
Going off your question, I think like just an example that I think of off rip is like Lil RT. Like you see him on like YouTube, like all the kids are watching him. Oh, he's rapping, he's showing bands, he's with all the girls in the 20v1s, and like some little kid might see that and be like, oh wow, that's cool. look at him and like want to grow up like that. And that stuff is very hard to like get out of people's systems. Like, you know, I feel like that saves you a long time, like the cultural environment that you grow up in. Or yeah, so
We got to feature little RT on the next episode.
we might have to, or we can do Zain Kanji 20v1 and see how
20.
his morals.
Hell no, hell no.
want to be on 20.
Freak.
Please.
Any other comments?
Wait, Q. What was the culture? You know that question about culture? Because I went off topic. I went off you guys.
No, you were similar, right? It was just
You
like
could just
like
say it.
social media and like how we look at other people, even like in high school. I think culture in high school are like intertwined, like the way we act. So how do we let that like just shape our morality? Because we look at other people.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Like there was like a lot of people that I would like base my personality off. You know, when I was
Who?
watching YouTube, like they were like they're cool. You know, you want to be like them. They're making
Who?
They're making a
Who?
bunch of bread. You know, like
Who?
they're I don't know.
Who?
I don't know. I can't give examples right now, but like you know, I remember some of my friends. You know, they would also do the same. You know, they would pick part of their personality off YouTube. You know, but that's not really them. You know what I'm saying? That's just who they want to be. So and that's gonna rub off. Yeah.
It's kind of like Clark's, not who, but I think knowing that you have an older brother and like both of y'all were raised in like Western culture, like in Gen Z. Have you ever like tried to be like him?
Yeah, not personality wise, but yeah, because you know everything we've done, like it's been the same. Like school, went to the same elementary school, went to the same high school. You know, baseball, absolutely, yeah. Like my mom would get us on the same teams, like on purpose, so we wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, we would definitely, but I don't think his personality rubbed off on me because I want to be different than him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in college, you know, he's at UIC right now. He's doing good, but I want to like pave my own path. I want to be my own person. So yeah.
So like you think like in a way like he still kind of like rubs off on you like in that way because like even though you're not like trying to be like him like
He
with
went
that
to
like
college.
perspective like
Like he's doing.
you're trying to like like if you have someone who you're trying to be different than then like technically they're kind of rubbing off on you because like you're trying to like form your like I guess self around not being like that. So like I think everything kind of plays a role like regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I didn't even think of it like that. But yeah.
Any more comments on culture? Because I think it's me personally. I do think culture is a big factor. It's huge. Like I don't know. I think there's so many. I think culture. Like I think about relationships a lot, just because like I see it so much in high school and like on social media. Like is the idea of like being immoral in that bond. It's not even like relationships, right? It's like your relationships with friends, family. Like you're just like being selfish just because that's how we've been conditioned in society. Like oh, we gotta like take it. Oh, we gotta like not like in a sense like use each other for our benefit. I think that's wrong. We should like help boost each other up. I think it sounds cliche, but it's so important, especially now more than ever. Just because like I said, we've been conditioned to think just so like poorly, in my opinion. So I think like I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
Okay, like I don't know what I'm talking about,
This is a
but
relationship movie.
but for me, like you know, I don't know, but like some of the things I've seen, like I now will do what's better off for me, even if it'll hurt someone else.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like even though I don't know them, you know, I don't know what they're going through. Sometimes I'll just do what's better off for me because you know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of world we're in. You know? Person, yeah, I don't care, but I'll fuck everybody over.
No, I was gonna say yeah. Like it just depends on the moment. Like I agree with you too. Like you're not a bad person if you prioritize yourself in certain moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Isaiah.
Because that cycles back into like, oh, is he being moral to himself or being selfish?
Yeah.
We say in unison.
All right. So so next question. Of like the three big things we've talked about, so there's culture. From what I can recall, there's culture, parents, religion, and like if there's like anything else coming to y'all's mind, like let me know. So of those, anything?
I think like emotions like that like goes into like the like selfishness or whatever like I guess like or culture like I think everything's like kind of like an emotional output that like you kind of like that's kind of like where we find ourselves like oh like um like I guess where you're trying to. Wait. I had a thought.
I don't know.
Like when you're like stealing, I guess like that's an emotional like I need that like like you know like
Putting
or like
yourself before.
emotions like with like social media like oh that's cool I wanna like the cool
Yeah.
feeling I guess like it's all like an emotion or like on social media like how you were talking about like seeing those extremes like have you guys seen that one guy on TikTok he cut off his like ankle monitor on TikTok live or something
into the
yeah.
McDonald's. Oh my.
Yeah, that guy's like crazy, and that's like whoa, like
And
but that's like an extreme where it's like
Can I get a mic? Come on.
Yes.
And every time he does that, he's like, "Oh, my mama, bro's mama's still alive. She's still alive." No, but I do get that. Like, continue my.
I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. I think like, but like yeah, for the most part, I think like emotional output or like emotional input from like social media and like experiences and like I guess like your situation. Like, I think the majority of it is just like your own emotions, like how you judge right and wrong, and like stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing up that other factor. So, does that any other comments like emotional like impulses with morality?
Yeah, I was gonna say like more like psych stuff, but like sort of like you learn from like your actions. Like if you put your emotions before like cultural, like let's say hypothetically, you're feeling hot one day and you want to go to school with no pants. Everyone's gonna look at you weird and stuff. So then the next day you're gonna weigh what your emotions feel. Do I want to be comfortable versus do I want to like fit in with the culture? Or do I want to not be different? So yeah.
Yeah, because like I definitely agree. Like you'll do something to look cool, but then you'll feel like an idiot afterwards because maybe like you like it hurt you or like the way people view you, or maybe like it just didn't feel good in general. Like say you like you do some drugs, you know, it's gonna hurt you. Oh, maybe it'll
Always on the drugs,
maybe
bro.
my bad. Maybe it'll look cool to other people, but like it might like it'll I don't know, but like it'll make you look bad to them, like depending on how you act, like when you're under the influence, and like it'll hurt your body too. You know, you might throw up. You know, you might do some. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, okay, bye.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. I think I didn't even think of like the emotional like factor when it comes to morality. So, so of those four, so religion, family, culture, and emotions. What do you think? In this, I want y'all to like answer from like your own like personal like experiences. Which has been like the biggest factor in shaping your morality?
I would say authority for me. My parents, yeah, my parents, yeah. You know, I don't really think too highly of police officers, so so you know what I'm saying. So not that authority, but like authoritarian parenting style. So yeah.
That's like kind of like an emotional like reaction too. Like that's going back to emotions in a way too, because like if you're like scared of your parents, if you have a fear of like doing something wrong, like for your parents, like that's also like emotions. Like if you think about it, or like yeah, I don't know.
It'll definitely like it'll also like stop you from doing stuff like if you know like doing that is wrong, you know, and but like what if you don't know if that's right or wrong and it's right and it'll stop you from doing it like I watched a little video of parenting style. Like it was just like on my For You page. It was some little kid he was writing on the walls, right? And the dad was like, "No, no!" And then he grabbed him. You know, somehow he grabbed him, and then he was like, "Right." He was like, "Oh, don't write again." You know what I'm saying? So then, and then they're at the little table, right? And he's drawing on the paper, and the little girl draws on his paper, and the little kid gets really mad at the girl, and he like hit her. So that's gonna like that. It wasn't like a crazy hit, yeah, but like yeah, something. No! But it's still bad, you know what I'm saying? Like so that'll rub off on them when they're older, you know what I'm saying? That's not.
Yeah,
Good.
I think I agree with you, Isaiah. I think family, like and parents, are definitely probably the most important factor when like shaping your morality because it's who you're greeted to into the world. Those are the first people they tell you what's right from wrong, and they're forming like the fundamentals, the basis of your morality. So I think after like when you're growing up, you're exploring yourself, you're becoming independent. That changes, but I think on a basic level, you're still keeping the fundamental values that your parents instilled with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I have a question for you three from the idea you brought up. If you have like authoritarian parents and like you're getting punished from doing certain actions, are you truly thinking you're wrong, or are you just like avoiding punishment? If that makes sense.
Let's hear from Isaiah.
I'm avoiding punishment. You know what I'm saying? Wait, what was the other one? If
Like,
are you avoiding punishment? Or are you avoiding what? What was the other one?
Like, or do you think that the action is bad?
Oh, I'm definitely avoiding punishment. You know?
So do you
'Cause-
think that's beneficial though?
No. But like I'm avoiding punishment because I don't want to get yelled at. You know, it'll make me feel bad about myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are you learning?
That's definitely what it was like when I was little, bro. Because I was like what is it like yelling at people a lot, getting into fights, you know, and I would cry, you know what I'm saying, and I'll be like, dang, now I gotta go back to my mom, you know what I'm saying. So what I did, it was definitely wrong, you know what I'm saying. I was cursing at little kids, and then the teacher. Oh damn! I actually pressed something.
Is it light on? Oh. Just pass me the mic real quick.
My bad. I was no Diddy, but I was gripping it hard. No Diddy, but but yeah, like I was cursing at the little kid, and
Should work now.
the teacher told my mom, you know, I was like, dang, now I gotta go to that punishment. So what I did in the moment, I didn't think it was wrong, you know, because I was in the moment, I was feeling myself, you know what I'm saying, like F you little kid, you know what I'm saying, like that didn't feel like super wrong to me, you know. But then at later I got yelled at, and I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that was definitely wrong. But like when I was little, I wasn't really thinking even if it was wrong. But now I'm thinking like, oh, that was definitely wrong. I probably shouldn't do that. So like, yeah,
So what caused you to think now that it was definitely wrong? What if before you didn't know that it was wrong? What changed now?
maturation. You know, I've grown up. You know,
Yeah. What do you mean by that? What happened?
like I matured. You know what I'm saying? I got older. I've been around more people. You know, talked to more grown-ups and more. Yeah, not sure.
How about you two?
Yeah, how about
Question.
Ahmad? I think
Do you think that
Ahmad and
it's
Clark. Ahmad and Clark. No, you talk
Me?
first. Clark, yeah.
You talk first.
About authoritarian parents.
Yeah, like, do you think, are you truly learning it, or are you just avoiding punishment?
Yeah. What's your view? What's your view? Are you avoiding punishment? Or are you?
Well, I mean, me personally, I did not grow up with very authoritarian parents. I'd say they're pretty lenient when it comes to their parenting styles. You know, I can't relate to it on like that personal of a basis. But I think overall, I think that it's important for kids to recognize that what they're doing is wrong and the consequences of their actions. Because if they're just doing it to avoid, if they're not doing something to avoid punishment, then they don't realize that something's wrong, and then that behavior is gonna cascade into the rest of their life. So
Yeah. So for you, you said you didn't have authoritarian parents, right?
yeah,
So did you think it was wrong, or were you avoiding? So you probably weren't avoiding punishment. You probably thought it was wrong, right?
as a kid, I definitely thought that things were wrong. Yeah.
Okay. So then, Gamya, you had authoritarian parents, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
So my bad. I'm interrupting. So if you're saying you have lenient parents, so how did you like get to that judgment? Like, how did you know things were wrong?
Like, what most affected your morals?
Well, I mean, my family, like, if I acted up, of course, a lot, as most kids do. But whenever I did something, my parents always like tried to explain to me like why that was wrong, and I think I got to understand that on the basis of that. They didn't just resort to this is wrong and then not tell me why, which is I
That's good
feel like that's the approach. Sometimes you just say it's wrong and then you don't explain why. Yeah.
Wait, can I say something? Yeah. Like I would get both. I would get the talk, and then I would also get
You got the talk.
and then I would also get, you know what I'm saying? I would also
Yeah,
get a little
Mortal
whooping.
Kombat.
Oh, a little whoopings here and there.
Mortal
A
Kombat
little
1.
combat, but the whoopings, you know, like I would like, you know, that was quicker than the talk, you know, like when they would talk to me, they would talk to me for like 10 minutes. And I was like, dang, bro, this is so long. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't intake what it was, but if I got whooped, it was quicker. You know, it was like,
Oh, okay. No, that's interesting.
it was 3 slaps with the belt, and then I was
That's
gone.
an interesting
So
take, right? Like, you think so? Do you think punishment is necessary to, I guess, like, enforce like a moral teaching?
yeah, they were talking about that in class. I said, yeah. I think you should do both. You know, because sometimes it would be the whooping, and sometimes it would be the talk. And the whoopings were quicker than the talk. But if you did both, you know, like a little quick, like little slap, you know what I'm saying? Not on some, you know what I'm saying? But and then you talk to them afterwards why it was bad, then they'll understand both, you know?
I mean, okay, I see where you're coming from, and I do like agree with you on some levels, but I think on a more emotional level, I don't think. Like, I've been like combated like a few times in my life. Not really. Like I have very loving parents and whatnot, right? But like I see what you mean, but at the same time, I think it depends on the kid. It can be like emotionally scarring because I don't want them to like. I think the negative side effect of like that punishment is like they view you in an immoral sense. They think you were immorally guiding them due to those punishments. So that's like still up for debate. I don't even have like a full like opinion on that because there are cases where punishments are good. There's some cases where like it can be more hurtful to the kid than beneficial. It's like what's y'all's take on that?
My parents are good people though. I just wanted to throw that out. And I love them, so
Don't get too right.
so yeah.
I think for me, I feel like I'm like in between that like authoritarian side and that lenient side, like in the way that like I feel like my parents have definitely like put this kind of like fear on me where like it kind of like tends me to do right things better. But, like it's also been like they haven't been like that harsh like or like do anything. I think it's mostly like guilt tripping like that's been like a thing for me or like that overthinking sensation. Like I don't really think I feel like I've like for the most part like always established like a right and wrong, but it's more of like myself that's formed that or like maybe it was my parents and like guilt tripping, but like I don't think it's for me. Like I think I'm between that like authoritarian. Like I don't think I've been combating in my lifetime like very much, or like I don't think my parents like really like had talks with me telling me like, oh, this is not right. This is what's right. But like I think like the guilt tripping that's like in between there where it like mixes in. So that's for me personally, and like that overthinking. But yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And then like going back to like the topic of like discipline. I think like the definition of discipline is supposed to be like swift and like on topic, sort of like punishment has to fit the crime, sort of thing. But I saw this video recently. I want to know your guys' opinion of a little kid who like bullied another kid for having cancer, being bald. So the dad cut off his hair, and he had like dreadlocks. So probably, and that kid is like the kid is like screaming. You know, he's like shaking and stuff. And some comments are like, "Oh, you're traumatizing the kid."
Oh, the bully's hair was cut off.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. And so some comments are like, "Oh, you know, you're traumatizing the kid. You shouldn't do that. You know, the hair means something to him, stuff like that." And other people are saying, "Oh yeah, he deserved that. You're teaching him a good lesson." So I want to just know your guys' opinion on that video.
Yeah. I think in an ideal world, I agree with Aden that it should be like in between like authoritarian and like lenient. But due to like the world we live in currently, I think it was more the right thing to uh cut the kid's hair off because I think the one of my biggest like learnings like in life is like, and it's unfortunately like I learned it recently. Like I wish this was taught to me at like, or I learned this at a younger age. Was that never to assume because you never know like what someone's going through. So I think that kid is more at fault than the parent for like assuming like whatever the cancer patient's like going through, right? 'Cause you don't know how hard that is on them. So like I think yeah, can it be emotionally scarring? Sure, I'll agree with that. But I think for the sake of the teaching, I think it was more worth it than not.
Like I have this saying about assuming, you know, it makes an ass out of you and me, you know? Like so it's just yep, you understand it? So it's just
I understand it now.
it makes both people feel bad, and you know it's it's not good. That kid, like that cancer kid, maybe they'll grow up to bully people. You know, they'll be a bad person off of what they experienced when they were younger. But that bully, you know, he's just gonna be a regular person when he's older. He's gonna be a regular person, but that kid that got bullied might go back and get his revenge because
Let's get back.
yeah, he gonna get his get back. You know, because that's all he knows.
I mean, like a kid bullying someone for that, don't you think that's more a reflection of the parenting rather than the kid itself? Because I mean, what is this kid? How old is he? Gamya.
Like out there.
For me, it depends because like sometimes the parents, yeah, you know, like I saw the Bart Simpson. You remember Bart Simpson when when he was getting bullied and the bully, right? His like mom was in the hospital, so that's like all like, you know, he was like
It's a cycle.
or it was like his dad was in the hospital or he was in jail or something, you know. but it was something bad that happened to one of the parents, so then he was taken out on Bart.
Yeah.
So, my take.
And like, yeah, you always gotta factor in like situation. Like, what if the whole class was bullying him, and that student's like dad found out? Like, what if everyone was doing it? What if he's in a group, and what if he only said one thing or something? You never know. Or he could have been like the main one bullying him, or he could have seen older kids do it. He could have seen something on the internet. Like, you never know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think what Isaiah was alluding to is important. That it's like there's always something going on that makes people the way they are.
Mhm.
Like a bully usually bullies because something's going on in their life
Mhm.
where they feel like they have to put someone else down so they can feel good about themselves because someone else is putting them down. So maybe that kid who's bullying, maybe he's got some issue or insecurity, and that's why he needs to feel the need to put other people down. So
I'll be honest, that it happened to me when I was in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? I was getting bullied, so I was like, "Dang, bro, let me bully these little kids now." You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like I wasn't even thinking about it. You know how it made me feel. So then, like, I was just doing it, but I didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all talking about it, I was just, you know what I'm saying? Just bullying them. And after I was getting bullied, and I was like, you know what, bro? You next. You know what I'm saying? Like that. My bad.
No, I was just like, no, I agree with you. Like, just another example. Like, at my old elementary school, like, used to be 7. So you have 3 grades per recess. So it'd be 7th and 8th grade get each basketball court, and then the 6th graders don't get to play basketball. So then when at 6th grade, I was all mad. But then once I got to 7th and 8th grade, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all gotta get off the court. So it's almost like a cycle. Like, I wasn't thinking about it. It was like a group mob kind of thing. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. Come on, bro. Come on, Ahmad.
I agree with that. I think it is a vicious cycle.
Quite vicious.
Can I say something about the cycle? Like, it's the same. Remember the immoral world, immoral people? It's the same with the cycle. The immoral people, you know what I'm saying? So now,
Immoral people made an immoral world, and
Mhm.
while living in an immoral world, we're becoming immoral.
so it's
As
just
immoral
a
people.
cycle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember? Okay, this is my. Y'all remember Attack on Titan? Like at the
Bro,
end,
what the hell?
and it was like a cycle. They was like killing people, but it was like, and then those people would become angry at the other people, and they were killing them. So it was just a big cycle of the world destroying the world. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah.
Isaiah, do you think that we can break the cycle,
Oh
or is it just a human thing that we have to be like this?
yeah, it's a human thing. We're not breaking the cycle. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's like no way. Like even if there's like a good president, you know, they're doing something, they're doing good, you know, and the whole world's good for that little thing. There's gonna be some little rebellion. There's always altering views. Not one person always has the same view. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
make a comment on that?
Absolutely.
I see where you're coming from, but I think it's also very important to think in an optimistic light because
hmm
I'm not gonna lie. Like, also, like, don't mind my language. Like, we live in low key a shitty world, right?
Absolutely.
But like, I think it's very important to be optimistic. Like, regardless of what happens in our life, and even when we are being immoral, at least when you're optimistic, to be able to learn from your mistakes, to have that hope that I can be better, the people around me that can be better, then at least like you're trying to make that better world, even though like it's very slow progress or even no progress, right? So I think that's very important. But I do see where you're coming from, Isaiah.
Yeah. Like for me, like I'll say some pessimistic stuff, but sometimes I'll try to, you know what I'm saying? I'll try to be optimistic, you know, but like even if the odds are 100 to 1, you know, I'll be optimistic, but like you know, like sometimes pessimistic, you know what I'm saying? Bad, you know, sometimes you know it's not going to work, but sometimes like it could, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know where that I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. But, you know.
I wanted to go like on your point about like I guess you were saying like the alternative views, like if someone like there's a really good president and like that rebellion or whatever, like that kind of idea. If you think about it though, like in another sense, like if you're thinking like more about like a family specifically where there's like generations of like really bad families, like there is like a certain point where the cycle can break and then there's like a new cycle of like really good because like someone recognizes as bad. So like there's also like that there's like an opposite reaction kind of. I feel like I've definitely seen like the cycle like in my family because I have a younger sibling and like how I was talking about like I feel like guilt tripping like overthinking like really shaped like the way like I've gone like in my life and then I can kind of see that like with my sister too like in the way like she like overthinks but like I don't know I feel like that's an interesting like I'm not trying to do that to like my kids like even though that's like on the like between like an authoritarian sense and like a lenient sense is kind of like in the middle. That's also like kind of like not really good way to like approach things, like guilt tripping your kids, like making them overthink like constantly, like yeah, that's not good either. Like even though that's like in between, so like there's definitely like an area where like I don't know, maybe like what do you guys think? Like what would your guys' ideal parenting style be?
Well,
Like
my fault. Adding on to answering your question, I think it's like it all depends because I had like a talk with my mom before, and she told me like it was really getting really deep, and then she told me like this is my first time being a parent, because like they don't get like a rule book or nothing. They're all doing it for the first time, and especially like even if my grandparents taught my mom like how to be a good parent, almost it's like there wasn't social media back then. There was like less crime and stuff like that. There was like less danger. Yeah, so it's hard even now if we say we have the best idea, we have all the scientists and psychologists to make like the best parenting, whatever. In 10 years, it's not gonna when we have kids, it's not gonna be the same. So I think it's hard to put like a specific, but there's obviously like better and worse. I agree. So
There was something that I heard. It was like hard times make hard men. You know what I'm saying? No.
wait, I get your idea though. I get your idea.
Hard times make tough men, strong men.
Strong men make good times make weak men, weak men make hard times.
Thank you. Can you say that again? Because I don't know if they say it in the mic. Say it in the mic. Say it in the
What
mic.
Isaiah's trying to say is hard times make strong men make good times make weak men make hard times, and it's a cycle that continues.
It's a cycle. So I think it's like that with parenting too.
So like I feel like then we need to like kind of like establish like a general area to like be in between that, because like I mean I don't know, like no, yeah, I see you guys' perspective, like and, like that's like a perspective like I've definitely taken too, like in the way like I want to be like, but I don't know, it's like that's like an interesting thought, like I don't really know how to.
I think the way to tackle like what y'all are saying, it's like just based off that quote, like just how do you achieve good times but also strong men?
I think I don't think you can really. Oh my bad. I don't think you could really break that cycle. Like I want to be optimistic there, but then again, my pessimistic side, like it's it's like it's hard because if all they know is like easy, then they're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna like it's with Donald Trump. It's the exact same with Donald Trump. He was gifted a multi-billion-dollar company by his dad, multi-million-dollar company by his dad. So look at the type of person he is now.
Yeah,
but his parents were not good to him when he was younger. They were never home, So that shapes the. No. I know a lot about it because of my class. Because we were learning a bunch about Donald Trump. I was
Which
like,
class?
psychology.
Who's your teacher?
Mr. Parsons, shout out Mr. Parsons if you ever watch this. I'd be listening. But yeah, it's the same with Donald Trump. I don't know. I think his kids are gonna like, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be strong men or strong women or strong people. They're gonna be weak. His grandchildren, you know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to be weak people, but it's you know what I'm saying? Yeah, my bad.
I think it's like important to kind of like control that, like yeah, like I feel like there's definitely like a need for like hard times and like um like yeah, but I feel like what's important is like being able to control that, like with how you wanna, like understanding that like you're gonna put your kids through this hard time, but like understanding like the output, I guess, because then that's kind of like where you get into like the border between like um how you want your kids to like grow up, like trying to like understand like what their reactions would be like if you beat them, or if you like combat them, or like if you like or if you like do like all these other kinds of methods like we talked about with parenting, like trying to control that and like see the output, like so like give hard times, but then like also guarantee that there's like a good light at the same time, like the good and bad, like balancing. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I disagree with you a little bit on that, just because like no, you're not the wrong. No. I just like disagreement about how like if you've created good times for yourself. Let's say you grew up with the struggle, and then you make a multi-million-dollar company, and then your let's say your son, for example, he sees you like you have all this wealth, but you're making him like live a harder life almost. Like I know that example, like Andrew Tate. He says, "Oh, I'll give my daughters like whatever. I'll buy them cars. I'll pay for their clothes. But my sons, I'm not giving them nothing. I'm not giving them a penny. They have to make their own money." It's like I feel like that creates a sort of resentment. Like you have to teach. Like if you're going through hard times, you have to teach your child to be like moral. Make good decisions. Make money. Like the correct way, I guess. But then if you're rich, you gotta teach your son, like, just because we have all this, people worked hard for this. So
But my idea though, like yeah, I
go,
understand
go.
where you're coming from, but like trying to like control that, like so you like don't make it that extreme. Like trying to find like a balance like between like how you want like to implement like the hardness of life while trying to maintain like the goodness at the same time. So like you don't want to like that didn't sound right. But you know what I mean? Like trying to like control that, but like in a way that's like is balanced. Like you're not like telling your sons like to have like to go live out on their own. Like you know what I mean? Like I think Andrew Tate is a good example of the strong man hard times principle. You know,
Can-
I'm not
can I
trying to.
make-
I'm not
wait,
trying to.
wait,
I'm not
can I
trying to. What's
set
it
a
called?
precedent? Can I say,
Absolutely.
let's try to not say anything that's like offensive on the show.
I won't.
Alright, yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm just saying he's a good. Some of his ideals might be crazy, you know, but he's a good because his background, you know, he was eating out of the trash, you know, they didn't have it like that.
He was. Did he send you screenshots?
like and now he's like a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good example, and I think he's trying to put that principle in for his
But
children.
he also went to
It
prison.
might be. It might like the hard time. Okay. I told you, I'm not with his ideals. You know,
Is he
what I'm
up?
saying?
Is he up?
He's making money. You know what I'm saying? But like some of the stuff might be some of the stuff might be crazy. You know, but like he like you know what I'm saying? He got it out, and he's trying to imprint that principle into his children. You know, he's not trying to have anything handed to him. But the women, you know, I guess he's trying to give them stuff. You know, he's trying to what's it called? Because they might have it easier than men. You know what I'm saying?
show them what they should expect.
So then-
Absolutely.
If we look on the opposite end of the spectrum, like what do we think about Bronny James being led into the NBA and having his entire life propped up for him just because he's LeBron's son?
Back to morality.
That's I think
it's good.
I think the Bronny James thing that's blasphemy. You know that should not
Blasphemy.
He's because there were so many. I'm sorry, Bronny. No hate on you, but there were like sorry, Bronny, but there were just not like there were better players that were dropping more points. That were just better players, teammates. You know that didn't get drafted because Bronny James got drafted, and now they don't have the opportunity to get their family out. When LeBron, you know, like he made it already for his family. He's making billions, bro.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So wait, are you saying it was immoral to take that opportunity away from the better players and kind of like build that nepotism for Bronny?
You know, I don't think it's immoral, but it's bogus. You know what I'm saying? It's bogus. It's
Fair take.
It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between like
Oh, yeah, but how is being unfair not moral? Or yeah,
immoral.
Yeah.
How is being unfair immoral?
or wait, I need.
wait, what is it?
How is it? How can it not be immoral to be unfair? Basically.
How can it not be immoral to be unfair? Okay.
Well, we got it.
Wait.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
In fifth grader terms, please.
I got you. Is it immoral to be unfair?
Is it immoral to be unfair?
I think you spelled it out.
Wait, bro. Nothing's
I did. So if it's unfair, alright, if things aren't equal, if things are not fair,
Yeah.
is that immoral?
If thing. Oh, thank you. Fifth grader terms.
Thank you, Gamya, for the assist.
You know, it's tough because like, you know, back to what I was saying, I would do what's better for myself, even if it's, you know what I'm saying, better off for me, not for the other person. So, like, I don't think it's immoral, but it's just not right. You know, it's immoral. It's not immoral, but it's not right. You know, because Bronny, he obviously worked hard for that. Going back to Bronny.
I get the whole Bronny thing, but
He
I'm
obviously
confused.
worked hard for his.
I'm
like,
confused,
opportunity,
right?
You know,
Bronny worked right. I like these. I look. He like this scenario because there's so many circumstances at play. But what I'm trying to get at is, if it's not right, then how is it? Like, I'm trying. If it's not right, then how is it not immoral?
And what's the difference? Let's search the definition.
real talk. Can you please search up the definition?
Right, wrong. You're answering low, bro.
No,
Yeah.
he was looking up definitions. He was looking up definitions. My bad.
I mean, that seems like you're saying the same
Unfair.
thing.
Yeah, say it into the.
So immoral is not conforming to accepted standards of morality. Oh, okay. So what's morality? All right, morality: Principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong. Yes, so it's pretty much right and wrong.
It's the same thing. So what feeling are you alluding to, Isaiah? If it's not about right versus immoral.
Jeez. Okay, Gum.
No. I think the difference in your perspective is like who it's happening to.
Yes. Thank you.
Because his dad has so much money, and because no matter what he's gonna get into league or whatever, because all these circumstances, oh, it's fine if it happens to Bronny. It's okay if Donald Trump gets robbed for $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Gami. Because like that's exactly where my mind's at for what I'm thinking. You know.
Yeah, no problem.
We made it to an hour.
Let's go. If you're still watching,
4 more hours left.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. Like, cause it depends on the person, how you were brought up. You know, like some of these players, like we're going back to the Bronny thing. Some of these players, you know, like their parents don't have money. They don't have, you know what I'm saying, and they're never gonna have this opportunity because this one guy who I'm not gonna say it was given to, but kind of was. Yes, it kind of was because his father was in the NBA. You know, it was kind of given to him, and these people now they don't have an opportunity because of that.
Okay.
So yeah.
A broader question: is nepotism moral or immoral?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Look it up. All right, man.
Thank you, bro. Because I didn't want to be the dumb one that did.
Isaiah, you looking it up?
Was.
Yeah.
I'm loving this color. Like, this is lucky heat.
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Also, an idea I want to talk about after this is it like the drug dealer versus you buy the drugs, like is the drug dealer in the house?
Okay, nepotism is the act of granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or friends. Okay, that's what it is for Bronny. Nepotism is Bronny. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the little one. It's that little. You see it?
Okay.
Oh, like
What is it?
In simple terms, it's just like the work of like parents being passed down to their kids without any effort from the kids. Like
that's how it is for Donald Trump.
But that's like
And Bronny.
reflects something about the parents though. Like that's like kind of. I think that like reflects something about the parents though. Like it's. I don't think like maybe it's unfair to other people, but like it reflects like the parents more. I don't know. That's like where it's kind of interesting because it's like the kid didn't really like do much to like necessarily deserve it, but like it really reflects the parents in a way that like it's kind of a positive thing. Like I don't know if it's really unfair.
Yeah, I mean, like the parents work to get the success that they have. So why shouldn't they be able to share that success and that wealth? But I mean, there's a balance because like you don't want your kids to grow up to be like these snobs who have no understanding of the real world. I mean, so like I think the issue of Bronny, I think he's just had he I don't think he's living
little.
He's not living little.
living large.
He's not
He's living
living.
large.
He's living large. He's living large. But like, I think there needs to be a balance between like letting your kids have, because you need to have a little bit of struggle and to find yourself and to develop good morals and good work ethic. But I think you're not wrong as a parent to want to give things to your kids.
Like with the Bronny thing, like he's never and will never work a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? He'll never work a 9 to 5 job because of his dad. But some of these kids, you know what I'm saying, like that are younger than him, they're working 9 to 5s, you know, just to make ends meet.
What do you want Bronny to do? What do you expect of him?
I don't know. Maybe like experience some struggle. It's the same with LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
How did he go about it?
But like he didn't choose the environment that he grew up in. So yeah, what do you expect of
LeBron
him?
already had like 3 rings.
Do you want him to evict himself from LeBron's
gotta
house?
do something about it, bro.
But what does it reflect about LeBron?
LeBron just wants to share.
There's no right answer.
He's not authoritative.
I bet LeBron gets pretty combative.
Because LeBron didn't have no dad, so his dad was probably gonna be the authoritarian.
MJ, bro. Who's
grew up in
better,
Akron.
LeBron and
Akron, Ohio.
Who's better, LeBron or Jordan, bro? Jordan didn't have his parents, bro, or his dad.
Jordan.
No, Jordan had his dad.
No,
Yeah, he had his dad.
Yeah,
You're assuming. No,
no,
I'm
he had
joking.
his mom. Yeah, his dad.
His dad was like a
Wait, no, I
his
swear,
dad,
his dad
no, his dad died.
Oh, yeah.
His dad died while he was playing. His dad died
At a young age?
No. In the middle of a game.
while he was playing.
No.
While he was in that
Dude, are these TikTok edits false, bro? Dude. Oh, I'm a victim of misinformation. My bad. Is that more? That is no. Personally, I think it is.
I have a Bronny related question. So like, do you think like because you're talking about how he has like gone through like no struggle, you like how can you really guarantee that he's gone through no struggle? Like, what if his parents like?
That's where the assumption comes in.
Huh? Bro, this little kid, bro, he been on Rainbow Six. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit Diamond 1 on Rainbow Six tonight. Bro, he's like 16. That means bro, like I can say the same thing. I've been playing video games, you know what I'm saying? But we know this kid, bro. Like you can, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna say it's like easier to make opinions, assumptions about people. Like sometimes, like there's like this psychology thing where if you have like an A or C answer and there's like an in between answer, and you're describing people's personality. For your personality, you'll describe more like in between, like oh, sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad, sometimes they're selfish, sometimes they're more giving. But then with other people, it's easier for you to say, oh yeah, he's selfish or oh he's this, because it's easier like put people in like a good or bad box when you're not in their perspective. So it's like I think one thing we're missing is like empathy. Like if they're famous, if you have LeBron James, he gets cheated on, you should feel just as bad for him as if someone else gets cheated on, or just an example like that. So I think
My bad, keep going. Finish.
No, I was gonna say like that's pretty much it. Like you gotta keep empathy in the equation, and because I think it's
a big one. Empathy.
Yeah, like you gotta, no matter whether it's moral or not, like it could be immoral. Like same thing with like the stealing. You could say stealing is immoral, but you could have empathy for that person. So I think someone could still be doing something immoral, but you can still have empathy for the situation. So yeah.
Okay, so for me, like LeBron, this is a good thing. LeBron, he can put himself. He has empathy. He can put himself in other people's
This is your final note about Bronny and LeBron.
Okay. Like LeBron, he has empathy. He grew up with hard times, so he can put himself in other people's shoes. Bronny cannot put himself in other people's shoes. Like, or
bro, you don't know
because
how he's raised though.
No, because when
Okay,
from the things we've seen, from the things I've seen with him,
I have a thought for you.
he's a dickhead.
I have a thought for you real quick. Like you were talking about like you keep
My bad.
going back
That's
to,
it for LeBron. That's it for LeBron and Bronny. Could we just
No, wait. I have a question. I have a question about. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Because
I
like,
think Ahmad does.
you're talking about like how you don't think he's gone through any struggle. Like, how do you know that his parents like didn't like intent? Like, even though he's like born like with like that kind of setting up, like, how do you know that his parents didn't like put him through like some stuff too, like with intentionally trying to control like his output and like how he would like like there could have been some stuff too that he went through struggles to like recognize like appreciation for like what he has. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know.
I just
Yeah, you know, bro.
No, I'm sorry. Like from social media, because all my
Yeah.
information is from social media. I just don't think he would. He's been disciplined probably from his dad for doing something bad, but I think he's looking at it. Oh, I don't want to get whooped, instead of thinking as what is the other one? Thinking that's bad, thinking that's wrong and bad.
Well, obviously, wait. On your behalf, and I'm not trying to continue this LeBron Bronny thing. Is it immoral on your behalf that you're getting misinformation about Bronny from social media? Because you're not doing the proper research to know about Bronny. You're just judging him without any proper information.
It's for the podcast. It's definitely immoral, but because I'm such a confident guy, and I
Oh, you got Mr. Confidence right here.
And I don't want to think it's immoral. It's definitely moral for me, but for the podcast, it's immoral. But I don't want to think it's immoral.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I don't want to think of myself as immoral. Okay.
Like not going back to the LeBron thing, like going back just like in general about like morality, I guess. It's like we shouldn't be knowing this much. Sorry, going back to LeBron. We shouldn't be knowing this much about. No, for real. We shouldn't be knowing that. Like Isaiah said, he got it all from social media. Like we shouldn't know enough about Bronny or LeBron to be able to make those judgments about. That's why adding on to the whole thing about how like it's too like the world is too connected or whatever. It's like we're seeing either the best of people or the worst of people. Like there's no in between. Like so it's hard to know.
Can I say like a truth I believe in?
Mm-hmm.
You're never ever going to completely know a person. You'll never ever know with Bronny like
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
Like
What do you think?
even like
I think the issue is that he lacks empathy for Bronny. I think that's
so. What I'm hearing is you're calling out Isaiah to a boxing match.
We're gonna put that at the end.
No.
because okay, for me, because I've never been in these like famous people's shoes, like like I've never had bread like that, you know what I'm saying? I had bread with me, you know what I'm saying, for the podcast, for the huzz. I've had bread. I've had bread, but
Let the record show he does not have bread.
I've had bread.
He did not have huzz either.
Right, but like I never had bread like that, so I'll never understand like what you know what I'm saying, what discipline they've gone through, the parenting style, stuff like that. So I can only think of people like me, you know what I'm saying, other teenagers, not like Bronny though, but yeah.
I think as the host, we can go into one more scenario that Gamya brought up to me earlier. I think, and then after that, we might have to wind down the episode. Does that go with y'all?
Pizza's coming.
I bet. You
no, no.
the lead. Oh, you got Mike?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, yeah, go for it. No, go for it. 'Cause I low-key forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
What was I saying earlier? I was gonna. No, I was just saying. Just go. I honestly don't know what I was
I
gonna
don't
say.
know
No,
what I was
say
gonna
it.
say.
No, you are transitioning.
But no, I was gonna say. Wait, what was I saying again? Sorry, I apologize.
Drug versus the drug buyer.
The what? Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So if you have like a drug dealer and someone buying drugs, like, is the drug dealer in the wrong? Do you think? Because like they're probably trying to make a living for their family. They're being put. Let's say their uncle was a drug dealer, or their dad or something, and they're just going down the family tree. I guess. Do you think that's immoral? Because
Yes. I think they're both immoral. The person buying the drugs
I agree.
and selling them, they're both immoral.
Can you elaborate on that?
Because drugs are bad. That's immoral.
which one is more immoral?
Why is it red?
Let me see my.
It was red.
Which one is?
It's dying. Oh, is it dead?
Is it dying?
Can we plug it in and use it or no?
Ooh, wait, is that one on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
We're gonna have to lock in.
All right, I just had a question. Is anyone more immoral between the drug dealer and the person using the drugs?
No, I don't think so. Because it's a mutual transaction, so both are equally as bad.
Okay.
Can I say something?
I'm not sure. I was gonna say like I kind of see the perspective where like, oh, well, the drug dealer can be providing for their family too, but like I guess like they do like know like that what they're selling is wrong, or like they should know, or like I don't know, like I hope they know. I don't know. Like
Okay. I heavily agree with Ahmad. I think to elaborate, they're both being immoral to society, and they're both being immoral to themselves. On the drug dealer's behalf, even in the circumstance of, oh, maybe they're trying to provide for a family, I believe in, if you're trying to do something good for someone else, do it with good intentions. Yeah, do it the good way. Don't like this like Muslim terminology, but don't like make haram bread, bro. Like everything you like earn should be halal, basically. This is like earn in like a good way, right? So that's like on the drug dealer's perspective, like, even if it's for the family, and they're being immoral to like society as well because you're putting something bad out there. I think there's like nothing more that can be said about that. On the drug buyer's perspective, they're obviously being immoral to themselves because who knows, maybe they're going to share that drug with their friends, they're going to consume it themselves. That's bad for their health, and I think they're also being immoral to society because like the same thing. Like who knows, they could put that out there as well. Who knows how badly they can get influenced by the drug and become a drug dealer in the future? That's I sound like a parent right now, but it is a genuine potential.
I got a follow-up question for you. Is the so we already like brought up that like morality subjective. So how is it immoral for them? Like let's say for them, you know what I'm saying? Like let's say for them, they grew up like that's the way it is. Like everyone sells drugs. Like they just like let's say for gang activity, for example, like they have their own blocks where they sell certain drugs or whatever. For them, it's not immoral. For them, it's immoral to go on someone else's block or something, selling in my territory. Like, how can you call it immoral if you aren't that person? Like, can you only call something you do immoral, or are you able to say other people's actions?
No, I think it's okay to judge morality for others and yourself, but I think you should do it in balance. No one's ever gonna be perfect at it. Unfortunately, we don't live in that kind of world. But the best we could do is try. And I think when you talked about empathy earlier, when you talked about understanding, when we talked about misinformation, it is always going to be in benefit for the judgment to have like a better like a collection of all those things. If you have good empathy, good understanding, good information based on the situation, then you'll like result in a better judgment of that morality, but you'll never be perfect at it. You'll never like be guaranteed that like, oh, your judgment's good, because someone else might think something different, right? But I think it is okay to judge someone else. I think it also comes with the intention, like, say like you have a little brother buying drugs, you will judge them because you want better for your little brother, right? So I think, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Follow up question for everyone, and we could also continue this scenario. Um, how should we judge other people's morality? Because we're human too; they're human. So how should we go about that, or should we not judge them?
We shouldn't be the ones to judge other people. I think based on your religion, I'm Catholic, so I believe just God um should be the one who judges me, for what I do. And um because I think it's just bad. Like if you're just judging someone else, then you're gonna have this preconceived notion of them. Of if you judge them bad or good, but you don't really know them. What they've done. Yeah.
But can you try to judge without assumption? I
Um.
think, in my opinion, I do agree. At least in the real world, most judgments lead to bad, just conceptions of other people. I agree with you. But at the same time, I think for the world to like continue,
Yeah.
the world keeps spinning. Oh my bad. Yeah, my bad. One mic, we're cooked. Nah. But I think it's just innate, like within our human nature, to judge others. And no, we're not. Like I said, we're very few times will we make good judgments. I think we're human. We suck at judging. I'm not gonna lie. But what was my point I was gonna make? Fuck.
You made the point of like how it's
Well, I was gonna like bring up a point. I feel like even though it's not like a good thing to like judge other people, like it's kind of beneficial for yourself in the way of like forming your own like opinions and learning experience for like the way you like have your own morality. Like you were saying, like I think it, yeah, like for sure, like in human nature, like I don't think like we can go without like assuming something about other people. Like it's literally in human nature to like do that stuff. But I think it's like important for yourself like to like develop as a person, like with having like those perspectives, like not really to like I guess like have a view on the other person as much as like I guess what I'm trying to say is like if you find someone who you think is a bad person, like you shouldn't judge them, but you should kind of like take what you feel about them and like use it for yourself to like make yourself better. If that I think that's what I wanted
I'm just
to
gonna repeat.
Parker saying, yeah.
Yeah. I was originally gonna say like that I was gonna ask like when like judging someone would ever be useful, but then like I thought about it, and you have to judge people to survive. You have to navigate the human world. Like if you're not understanding the people that you're associating with, then you're not going to be successful, and you're not going to find good. So I think you do have to judge people in some capacity, and the more accurate those judgments are, the better it's going to be. So yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you as I think the question you want to answer earlier also was like, can you judge without assumption? Yeah, and also like any other comments you got.
I don't think you can judge without assuming. Assuming is not always assuming bad. It could be assuming like good. Oh, they did something. Oh, they helped that old lady cross the street. Oh, they must be a nice person. That's a good assumption. But there's also bad assumptions. Oh, they're homeless. They do crack. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like that.
and you were assuming the thing about the celebrities about how like they had life so easy or whatever. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, going back to obviously what I said in the podcast. We're just gonna get that little guy out of the podcast. Ahmad, would you like to answer the judge and assume?
Oh, we have a special guest actually. That's the question. Wait, what was the
Question.
question? Say. Quick question. If there's I'm asking the drug dealer first, right? If there's a drug dealer and someone buying drugs, is it wrong for the person that sells the drugs? Is that a bad thing to do?
Yeah.
More in the wrong, the person buying them.
Why is it wrong for the drug dealer to sell?
Because he's giving them bad stuff.
Yeah, but it's their choice. It's their choice to buy it, and he's feeding his family.
Well, it's the fault of the person that's buying it too, because they're harming themselves. So
So would you say 50-50 or?
I say it's Yeah, 50-50, both of them.
All right, good to know. Thank you for the special.
Hey, clap it up for Sam.
Yeah. All the fine shit.
Yo! Yo! Yeah, so we don't wind them down. Yeah. I just had a little random thought. Y'all don't have to comment on this, but when he said 50-50, I was like, can morality even be quantified? I don't think it can. I think for the sake of how we work, like just operate in this world, especially like just say like the legal justice system, we attempt to quantify it, but the truth is we low-key fail at that. I think we fail at
Morality is very.
it's subjective, in my opinion. Not always subjective, but it's highly subjective. And I think, are there any like final comments y'all got before you wind down? Ahmad?
This is going back to Sam's 50-50. I think he's right about that. No, he's also right there. He's also right there. But I agree with that because like, you know, the druggies, the druggists, they want like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they'll buy because maybe they'll think they'll look cool. Or maybe they're just addicted, you know what I'm saying? But the what's it called? What is the people supplying the drugs? The drug dealers, thank you. You know, they want to supply for their family, but then again, they're doing it in an immoral way.
Coming from a business standpoint, such as Ahmad Khan's, since I'm Ahmad Khan's advisor, it's supply and demand. So if they want it, just get on joking. But yeah.
So on a final note, thank you to everyone here for joining me on this episode. It's very thoughtful. I think. Did we make any progress on the question? What is morality? Low-key, nah. But I think yeah, exactly. And I think there's never gonna be a universal answer, right? You just have to find it for yourself. And I love everyone here, y'all, my boys. Thank you so much for your answers. And yeah, let's clap it up. And, yeah. And that's wraps on episode 3 of Living Little. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like it. If you're on Spotify, just follow the account. Follow the Instagram as well. It should be linked somewhere.
OnlyFans as well.
Wow, crazy work, diabolical, but it's true. Not playing.
What? Is it moral to have an OnlyFans?
Low-key, nah. Low-key, nah.
But they're buying it though. All right, my fault.
That's haram. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the same with the drug dealers. It's supplying in the okay, guys.
Hey, let's pipe down. All right, but yeah. Once again, thank you so much. This is your host.
Thank you, Zain Kanji, for being host.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Thank you for Gamya and Michael for hosting us in his great home. His family having us here. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Morrow's right here. But yeah.
Living little family right here.
Yeah. Thank you for watching or listening, whatever platform you're on. And that's gonna be it. You should have a what?
Like a motto.
Motto?
Live little or don't live at all.
Oh.
Live large
Yeah.
or don't live large.
Living little, but like something is large. Yeah, I did that.
What? Whoa, yo. You gotta wrap it up. Alright.
Gotta stay wrapped though.
Yes, stay wrapped.
Stay wrapped. That's right. Hey, keep protection on you. Yeah. Stay protected.
Wow, crazy
Don't
work.
let moral people.
Shout out to the host.
Shout out to the Huz.
I think we can wrap it up.
Alright, we gonna say peace. We gonna say peace. Bye.